Well, first you got to go before the crisis started, and it goes back to my upbringing and with my dad. Is I had seen markets go up and down. I remember him coming home, and people's incomes went down. I remember in 1974 and then 1982, New York City was desperate. So this great Wall Street, it was desperate. Restaurants were closing, stores were closing, apartments were being sold for back maintenance. Literally, people forget that 1982. And so even way back then, when I was with Sandy Weill at Travelers, Primerica, et cetera, I used to do presentations for all the stockbrokers about how we have to be able to deal with all these ups and downs. And part of the name of the game is just continue to serve your clients, do a great job in the downs, not just in the ups. And don't over celebrate the rising tide, but be prepared for the tide going out. When I got to JP Morgan, I was very toughy about capital, liquidity, profitability, because I knew that if the shit hit the fan early on, we would have had a real problem. So before that, and then get real risk management in place. So if you talk to the folks here, they were shocked at the detail. I'd go into every position, every risk, the what ifs, how bad can it get? And I made them do stress tests that they were like, it'll never happen. I said, I don't care if it happens. And it's like kind of what happened, by the way. I said, I want to know if it happens that we survive to serve our client. Because you can't tell me it's not going to happen. So risk management is much more being prepared for a whole range of outcomes and what ifs than the shit hit the fan. But we were ready by then. We had more liquidity, more capital, more profitability. And you may remember the risk committee, the board. At one point, I left you guys at the board. I said, I can't even, I have to go to the risk committee. And we were going through, literally client by client and country by country and loan by loan and helping people.
We went and watched that. You actually had us come watch.
You watch the sausage get made, but people say, what did you do different? Nothing other than we already had teams. We already had an army. We already had things to go. So the risk committee used to meet once a week for a couple hours, and all of a sudden it was meeting, and it was kind of more formalized, reviewing certain things. And all of a sudden it was meeting 5 times a day, every day for a year. Okay, and I mean every day. And I mean, going to 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. because we had Asia. We had to be up for that. And we were on calls all the time with regulators and governments and clients. But the machine was working. And then the formality, when you were there, the formality went away. It's like, hey, David, don't come up and make us a presentation about the mortgage problem in Denmark. Bring up whoever you need to describe and tell us what they want to do. And so we were making, battlefield decisions mostly to help clients, because JP Morgan was actually in quite good shape. And then you just learn how people operate under stress and strain. I mean, some people are great and some are just children.